and welcome to the Motor Asha podcast. We thought we'd address one of the questions that we always see on WhatsApp groups, especially motorcycling WhatsApp groups, on how often should you replace your motorcycle tire, and when is it due, or how much longer can I go with this tire? So these are the questions that we see regularly on WhatsApp groups, and we thought let's give it a shot and see what we could find and address that question. So motorcycle tires are very important, as probably they are the most critical part, one of the most critical parts of a motorcycle, where they are your, the contact between a motorcycle and the road is your tire. Now, your tires definitely need to be maintained on a regular basis. They are part of more than performance. It's a safety hazard if you're not able to get them correctly maintained. One of the things that is always a question is, so when is it, when do we know that it requires replacing? And that's what this podcast is about. So there's three things on a tire that we believe are very important to when these should be looked at, and when is it time for it to be changed. So durability, composition, and the lifespan. These are three things of tires, and they keep wearing for the kind of motorcycle that you're riding. In addition to this, you should also look for wear indicators. Those are the obvious. All of these are the obvious signs of when it's due. Now, let's get to the composition part. The tire composition it's not as simple as just plain rubber that's stuck on in a hoop. It's not that. They're definitely more intricate products, and they're made from various layers or numerous layers of distinctive compounds and materials. So, for example, if you were taking a track day tire, they are completely there'd be a very soft rubber on the side walls, and it would have a little harder rubber on the center. So different tire compositions for a touring vehicle, where it requires a lot more harder rubber on the center, so it doesn't wear off, and you have to keep changing that tire. So the structure, a tire structure, flexibility, and toughness, they're all derived from these layers. So basically, the kind of motorcycle, the kind of purpose that you're gonna use that motorcycle, these are the things that are, this is what the layers are about. So it's the tire structure, flexibility, and toughness, and grip. Okay. Now, for the tire to operate at its peak efficiency, these are your necessary components, and anything that you compromise on these impacts your tire handling and safety. So now, what is it? What are those typical tire issues that justify for a tire replacement? So if you've not had enough air, or you've put too much weight on those tires, it's a high chance of causing sidewall damage, and the tread to square off. So basically, the tread starts running down, and you can start seeing more grip on the side of a tire, and the center just keeps moving, just keeps wearing off. Now that's got to do with not having enough air or having too much weight. The second reason could be overinflated. Now, when you overinflate your tire, you have excessive tire wear on the center, again, because that's the only contact patch that's there, and it just keeps wearing. Incorrect wheel alignment. This is also one of the reasons where you should be looking at changing a tire, because it's going to have very erratic wear patterns. With a motorcycle, the front is okay, but the rear is where you really have to make sure that you've aligned it properly, especially when you have with the chain drive, where someone's removed the tire, you put it back and make sure that the left and the right side of it of the axle is aligned properly with those markers. High mileage, definitely a reason for you to change it. There's the tread gets worn because of running a lot of kilometers on, basically it's still rubber, so it's gonna wear out. Punctures, if you've had a sidewall or a bigger, a big tread damage, you definitely have to get these changed. Yeah. So a tread pattern of the tire is definitely the most noticeable feature. You've got a textured pattern, on that acts. That's the most. That's the reason why you have grip, and that's the reason where you can see. That's what the tire tread does, and it's one of the. It tells you exactly how many kilometers you have done on the tire. It's the tread pattern. Yeah. One of the most common reasons for tire replacement is also low tread depth. Now, this is very easy to see. All you've got to do is just make sure that if you look at the tire depth, you'll see it, from the top to the bottom, especially in those grooves, how much is still left. Yeah, so it's easy. It's an easy pick. Yeah. One of the other, the technical way to do it is to look for the tire wear indicator, and TWI is a very common. Most people, most people don't even know that your tire has that TWI. On the sidewall, you'll always see at the edge between the sidewall and the start of the tread, you'll see a TWI with an arrow. And if you keep following that towards the top of the tire, on the tread, you'll see, a raised bump in the groove, and that tells you exactly that if your rubber, the grip reaches there, the tread reaches there, there's a time for it to start. You have to change that tire. Okay, you can also use the coin in the groove method to check, and by doing that, all you gotta do is just figure out on the manual what is the that is minimum for you to use that tire. Punctures and repairs. Now, one of the things that people forget is you've had a puncture on the highway, you plugged it in, and you're back on the road. However, it's a quick fix to make sure that you've been able to come back. You still have to make sure that you come back and check the kind of condition that tire has been. If it could be a sidewall puncture, and it's now it has damaged the carcass, which is an important part of the tire's rigidity, as well as the what it's supposed to be holding on to. Okay, so defective tires definitely need to be replaced. You have to make sure that you check the kind of puncture that has happened, and if it's not damaged the carcass or the sidewall extensively. So how do you determine your motorcycle tire's age? That's one of the other reasons to consider when you're replacing motorcycle tires. Tires definitely have a shelf life. It's one of those questions that everybody keeps asking, and they have a tread life of 5 to 6 years roughly. It's mostly due to drying out of the rubber components on the sidewall. To come to know when your motorcycle tire was manufactured, the easy way is to just check on the sidewall tire. There's a 4-digit code that contains this information. It's the first two numbers represent the year's first week. So basically, it's the week number of that year, and the second two is the year. So if it's the first week of 2023, it'll be 01 it'll be 0123. So first week of 23. So that's the way to determine your tire's age. One of the ways to store it, if you've just got a tire and you're thinking about, how do I use this and I'll wait for my tire to wear off, is to the best way to do it is get those black garbage bags and put them inside there. Keep it in a place where it doesn't get exposed to the sun. So maybe in a place where it's got less heat, there's no heat, and there's no direct sunlight. Now, so the way to inspect your tires, there's a notable variation in weight, performance, and style of motorcycles that make it possible for the tires' average mileage. Extreme temperatures, rough surfaces, bad roads, inflating, making sure that you've got the right amount of air inside. So basically, poor maintenance And even where you park your bike, are simple examples of external factors that could hasten your tire wear. Motorcycle tires have today you see motorcycle tires that have technology driven into them. So basically, because of the because we've got so many categories of motorcycles: hyper sports, sports tours, dual sports, motorbikes, sports bikes. All these require a certain type of tire, and motorcycles and motorcycle tire manufacturers have adapted to that, and that's why it's not a one size that fits all anymore. Also, there's nothing as a I mean, we believe that there's nothing as an average tire life. You've just got to make sure that your tire inspection routine, you have routine tire inspections that are that are crucial. And is I mean s- I s- I mean being a DIY guy, I think I still believe that the best way to keep your tires like your motorcycle in top condition is to have a hands-on approach and make sure that you keep inspecting them, keep checking on them to not overinflate or underinflate, and also make sure that it's kept in, you've parked it in the right place and not exposed to the elements a lot. So thanks for listening to this Motorshop podcast. If you have any topics that you want us to address, DM us on Instagram, and we'd be happy to do some brain scratching and get you the answers.